Hey y'all, this is Just a Touch of J, and we are back. Me and Dub22 are here to answer all of your questions, because these are our confessions, baby. Make sure you stay tuned. Listen up to what's next. Y'all, we are back. Me and Dub22. Dub, you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
I hear all that noise in the background. What's going on, Dub?
I don't know. It shouldn't be any kind of noise in my background. I'm in a quiet room. I'm in a secluded area. So,
You migrated on over?
nah, I'm actually just stationary right now.
Okay, you sound good.
Thank you. You do too.
Thank you so much. So listen, guys, Dub and I are back, okay? And we have some more questions and answers. So these are our confessions, okay? You know, these are our confessions. You know that whole Usher thing? For y'all, who know who Usher is, the artist. We back and we get ready to go ahead and answer your questions with our confessions. Right, Dub?
Yes, ma'am. We ready? Are we ready? Are we
Yeah,
ready to do this?
We are ready to do this. So, Dub, wait, before we get into it, tell them who you are and what's going on with you, because, we got new listeners and all of that type of stuff. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Dub22, and you can definitely find me on Instagram as your boy Dub2, or you can find me on Facebook. My real name is Matthew Loftus, Loftis. I'm an entrepreneur, single father of two beautiful little girls, and this has just been a great opportunity. This avenue of podcast, and I have my own podcast station as well. It's called Listening to the Echoes of Dub22. So definitely check me out. And that's just a little bit about me. And I came across Just a Touch of J on here on Anchor. So I'm on here and, collaborating with her because of this avenue of podcasting. It has been a blessing to me in my life.
Oh, Deb, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, you are so amazing, and so are you guys out there. I tell y'all all the time that they are y'all amazing. Don't I tell them that they're amazing, Deb?
Yes, you sure do.
Y'all are amazing. Yes, you are amazing because God made you amazing. That's number one, and number two, because you listening to me, and you got to be amazing if you listen to me. Unless, what do I always say? You a hater. And if you a hater, hi haters, because y'all need this work too, right, Doug?
That's right. Y'all need that work too, haters.
Right. So listen, let's get straight to the questions. So look, I'm going to ask the first one. We got 6 for y'all, okay? I hope you guys are ready. So first question. Oh my God.
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. So first question is from Kendallin. Okay. Kendallin says, why do men talk about their ex with their new lady? Okay. And not just in mentions, she said it's details, honey, about sex, finances, and beauty, etc. She says, is something wrong with me? All right. And does it make me insecure that I notice and care?
Wow.
Oh, child. So how do you feel about this stuff?
We got to go through this one by one. How many questions is it all in that one? Like 3 of them?
I don't know. It's like 3. So
All
why do men talk about their ex with their new lady? I mean, you're a guy. Tell us.
All right. So the reason why is I think sometimes what they're doing is they're trying to put some hints out there of what they like. No, it's no disrespect. However, there are some situations where the guy just really ain't even over that last lady. So you're gonna have to, ladies, you're gonna have to be able to bring in your discernment on this and figure out, is this guy truly over his ex, or is he just trying to give me a hint of what he likes? And guys, y'all have to be more conscious of the fact that this is not always a good thing.
Child, it's okay. I'm over here biting at my fingernails like, oh my, like, I don't even child, this is, you're right. Might not be over, okay? Still wanting to talk about that whole thing. That's not like a good thing that you're doing that with your new lady. You know, it could be a recent breakup though, Dub, where they're just like vent, you know. But
Yeah.
still, Dub, you know, you going into details and all that type of stuff. She said that they're talking about sex, finances, beauty. I think that he's more so like trying to like put it out there in pieces for you, baby. Okay. I
So,
think he's like, listen, what do you think, Dub?
so here's something that I'm actually wondering is, is the woman actually asking the questions and he's answering, or is he voluntarily voluntarily telling her these details about their previous relationship? Because if a person is going to ask a question, if a woman was to ask me, for example, about details with my ex, woman needs to be prepared for the answer. Do not ask a question if you're not ready for it. And men, please do not just come out of the blue and voluntarily say, well, this is how Shanice used to do it, if that was her name.
Right. But you know, though, I agree. Please don't do that, y'all. Don't be out there like this, how such used to do it, or my ex used to get down like this. Please, especially sex and all that. Don't do that. But it could be, too, that he don't want the same problem again. You know, sometimes people, they throw stuff out there like, well, look, my ex used to do this because they don't want that problem. But I still don't think that, she said they talking about finances and beauty. I think it's a little issue. He got something going on. What you think?
Okay, so every relationship is different. So unless you're trying to understand what, like you said, I agree with you. Unless you're trying to understand what didn't work in a previous relationship, that makes sense. But if you're just voluntarily, mentioning this information, that's not going to be a good thing for the progress of your current relationships.
Okay.
Please keep that in mind.
Yeah, Kendra, I don't think that that's good. It sounds like he's kind of comparing.
Yes.
From what she said, and then she's asking, is there something wrong with her? Because he's saying that. What do you think? Like, if a guy is saying this, do you think that he's pointing out that something is wrong with his current girlfriend?
I think, like I said, he could be dropping some hints. Like, this is how I used to like. I used to like these things about how she used to do this.
Scandalous.
Yeah, so if you think about it, like, we all can look back at our past relationships, and we could be like, man, this is one thing I really liked about this girl or this guy.
Right.
He really was on point with how he dressed, and he opened my doors. He always made sure that I was taken care of. Like, there are things.
Hold on, wait a minute. Are you a ladies' man? Because you talking about you opening up doors and I like the way I was taking care of all this. What you got going on in your job? What? You over there doing that? You ain't part of the trickery clan, so you must be a gentleman. Okay, go Dub.
But that's how. If you think about it, there are things you can point out that you really loved about this person that you used to date. And so when you're telling people about that, it's like, oh, well, let me make sure that I am up to par. And matter of fact, let me make sure I supersede and go above and beyond in that area. But don't be doing this thing like, you're trying to be that other person. Please be genuine and be sincere. And so when she says, is something wrong with you? No, there's nothing wrong with you.
Right.
The man is just letting you know, hey, this is my experience. Because the man can only talk about what his experiences have been up to that point. That's the only thing he can talk about.
Hold on, though. What if he trying to do that trickery on her? What if he trying to do like a reverse psychology type of thing because he wants her to be like the ex? Now listen here, there's a lot of stuff like that going on out here, Dub, where these people, certain people out here, they do the little trickery and they try to throw it out there so you could be more like what they're used to.
Yeah, that's not a good thing. So that's where the discernment comes in from the young lady.
Right.
That you ladies need to tap into that, like where you understand, you need to know whether or not if he's doing trickery or not. Like you need to start doing some things and
Like
seeing
what?
how he reacts.
Like what? Tell us. You a man. Let us know.
Okay, so an example would be if he says, "Well, she always used to cook it this way," like because sometimes it's like it could be something small as how y'all eat. You know, maybe she used to cook it
Make
medium
love in
rare.
V's kitchen. Make love in V's kitchen. Maybe she makes love in V's kitchen. And the new one ain't out here making love in V's kitchen, baby. Because can't nobody do it like making love in V's kitchen. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Definitely. So you ladies have to listen to what the man is saying and pick up the pieces. Like she say, he's trying to put it out there in pieces of how he likes things.
Okay.
And
so
it could be just something like making sure that when you prepare a plate, like let's say he's coming over to visit or whatever the case might be, and you have cooked or whatever, just making sure that it's on point. It's like it's organized in its own sections. It's hot and ready just for him. When you made sure it was just prepared specifically. It wasn't just made for just the kids. It was made specifically for him. You want something to stand out from you that was different from his ex.
Child, listen here. Ken, let me tell you something. Woman, woman. You know that one right there? Okay, listen here. Let me tell you something. You always got to make sure that you stand out. Okay? Right. So I don't know if maybe you're not making sure that you're standing out, baby. I don't know. But listen, take it from just and such a J. All right? I make love in V's kitchen. And what Dub is talking about when he said making that whole meal thing, you always have to make sure you set the tone. And you make the memory. And maybe he's, too busy focusing on other people's because maybe you're not making those, so I don't know, but also you know what Dub too, he could be a little insecure himself.
Oh yeah, that's true. Most of the time it could be that because the previous relationship didn't work out because of something he was not bringing to the table or something he wasn't doing right, and the lady just said, you know what, we're gonna have to go our separate ways because you're not adding up in this area. And so now he's coming out on things that he remembers that maybe he liked or disliked about her, just to kind of, like you said, because he's insecure about things that he has going on.
I don't know, child. Moving along. I don't know, Kimberly. All I can say is that I don't know. It's like R. Kelly again. What should we tell Kendra? How should she handle? Because she says, "Oh, wait, we can't forget this." Does it make her insecure that she noticed and care?
Let me let you answer that first, and then I'll come back.
Okay. No, I wouldn't say that you're insecure because you notice, because he's pointing out stuff. Dudes sometimes they do all that trickery type stuff. That reverse psychology. You need to get down to the point, girl. Ask him, why you keep telling me about this X type stuff? You want me to be like her? Are you venting? What is it? What's going on with you? Because something is going on that he has to tell you. And I don't feel like that is the issue because you care. You should care. That's a red flag right there, right, Dub? Somebody telling me, well, my ex used to do this and she did that. Or if I'm telling a guy, like if you tell, how would you feel? How would he feel if you were telling him? Well, my ex was like this in bed, okay, and he had this amount of money, and he was handsome. How would he feel?
Yeah,
I don't know. This is just such a baby. I'm chopping out there pieces. I don't know. No, go ahead. Give us some of your insight.
See, this is one thing that what everybody that's listening should keep in mind when you're going into a new relationship. You got to press the reset button in your mind.
Thank you.
Let me repeat that. Press the reset button. Everything that you remember up to that point, as far as how you were dating and how things you might think are supposed to be ideal, actually it's not true, because if it was true, you would still be with that person. So press reset in your mind on how you think a relationship should be, and that help everybody listening on feeling like you insecure and all that, because if you press reset, you'll be able to notice things that maybe he didn't notice. So by you finding those things out, that helps. He might not have known up to that point that his hygiene wasn't up to par.
Yes, talk about it. He probably didn't even know. Like the other guy with the one that, remember I told you that I was dating and Sean tell me, about the whole car and stuff. He had the car and stuff, but wouldn't take care of his feet. Right. Child, they think, like for instance, because this is what I asked them honestly, Ken. I said, your feet, why your feet like this? Didn't nobody else tell you about this? Because I want to know, who was you in a relationship with before that they tell you about your feet? And he was just like, I'm a man or whatever like that. And I'm like, no, they should have been telling you about this. But maybe they didn't care and they weren't concerned. They were more, because, worried about the car and stuff. Like he was like, I got this car, I got that car, and I got this going on. Maybe some women are more worried about things like that. So it may be an issue like that that's going on. Something like that too, where he's used to it being a certain type of way. And like Dub said, he's supposed to press the reset button.
Yes. And
I don't think he's doing it. So you might well go ahead. Y'all just need to communicate. And don't stop doing that trickery and get to the point. Okay? So look, I hope that that helped you out. I don't know. Those are our confessions. Okay?
Right. All right. So I can do the second question, right?
Go ahead, Dub. You got that.
So here's the second question. This is from an Instagram follower. It says, do you desire a godly relationship because it will honor God? And then the second part of this is, or do you desire a godly relationship because you feel there is less risk of heartbreak? So let's start with the first one.
Right.
Do you desire a godly relationship because it will honor God? What would you say about that?
Yes. Yeah.
Why is that?
Because I only want to do it for His glory. Like I want to honor God. I don't want anything that God doesn't want for me, because it's not gonna work. I want to honor God with what I'm doing. I don't want it for myself. Please, that's a dead end road, y'all. When you want something for yourself, that's a dead end road. What you think, Dad?
This is an interesting question, because sometimes people don't even think like this. So I apply whoever this person was that asked this question, because most people, when they're thinking about a relationship, they're not thinking about honoring nobody but themselves. they're thinking about pleasing what they lack or what they feel like they need. Yes. So I apply whoever asked this question, that this is an awesome question. Do you desire a godly relationship because it will honor God? And I would say yes. Not everybody actually gets to the mindset and the thinking of this, because I want him because I'm lonely,
right?
Or I need a woman because I want somebody to be able to hold at night, or
right.
I want somebody to help me because I need help with these bills, or Absolutely. I need somebody to help me raise my children that I'm trying to do on my own, and it's hard, So there are so many other different selfish reasons of being in a relationship, but this person right here, I have to give you kudos on asking that question. Let's go to the second part of it that says, do you desire a godly relationship because you feel there is less risk of heartbreak?
Yeah. A lot of people do. I don't. But then again, though, I guess, I don't know, because, if the person is in love with God, and loves God, like I love God. Okay, oh my God,
I love God. You don't love God?
Shout out to you, God. Yes, God is so good. You understand what I'm saying? Shout out to you, God. So I would think that if somebody really loved God, like how I love God, that they would be very careful with me. You understand what I'm saying? They're going to be careful with the things that they're doing. So yeah, I guess I would have to say yeah. Have to go that way.
It says, so do you desire a godly relationship because you feel there is less risk of heartbreak?
Yeah.
And so, you know what?
But then you can
get your
break somebody's
heart
heart
broke either way, though.
Either way, you're right. You sure can. because listen, they could. Because first of all, this is what y'all gotta understand, right? The back me up on this if I'm wrong. If you think I'm wrong. Because you're gonna get your heart broke regardless. Y'all can't be in no relationship thinking that just because they godly, they ain't gonna do that.
Right.
We are all born sinners.
Yes.
Shout out to you, J. Cole, for that song. Okay. But we are, though. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, everybody's going to mess up. They're going to do stuff wrong. It's going to break your heart. They just might be a little bit more cautious, more aware, careful.
Right.
Trying not to because they honor God.
Yeah. And so on top of that, people need to understand that a broken heart can happen either way if you're in a godly relationship or if not.
Right.
So with these two questions, I would say it would be more leaning towards you want to be in a relationship because you want to honor God rather than because of being less heartbroken.
Right.
So, anything else we want to add on that? I think that was pretty.
That one is straight to the point. Listen, okay, we already know what it is when it comes to God. We don't play.
Right, that's good. So that was a good question.
That was a good question. Child, so look, I don't even know if I want to ask this question after that. But this is what y'all want, so we got to go ahead too. We got to ask it, right?
Yeah.
Should I skip to the other way? All right, I'm going to ask this. Wait, hold on. Because this is well, listen, this is what y'all want. I can't be out here. This is just a touch of day. I got to put it out there peacefully like you said. Okay? This is what y'all want to know. Faking it during sex, is it good or bad?
Man, so here's what I'll say. Going back to the previous question. Is your relationship even godly? Because if your relationship is truly godly, y'all wouldn't even be asking this question right here.
You ain't lying about that because you ain't be bumping and grinding and seeing nothing wrong with it.
So I'm gonna answer it like that, and then I'm gonna also just give the real. So if y'all are truly in a godly relationship, y'all wouldn't even be having sex in the first place.
Right.
Until you get married.
Why? Explain to them why, though, because they need to know.
Because, you're not supposed to have sex until you get married. That's biblical right there.
Right. And you're supposed to present your bodies as a living sacrifice.
That's right.
That's Romans 12, okay?
Yes.
That's what you're supposed to be doing, and you're supposed to be honoring God with your body and not putting it out there. You're supposed to be waiting, and there are many reasons why God wants you to wait, so that way you're not spreading your body out there with a lot of different people, because you get, this is a whole nother topic, but you can get sexually transmitted demons and all type of spirits and all type of things. You're connecting with people when you're made to connect with really one, okay?
And just shout out to you on that, because I believe that you did an earlier podcast on that sexually transmitted demons.
Yeah, because people they out here doing that trickery.
Right.
Okay, and they out here doing that type of trickery. And for y'all who don't know what trickery is what it is. It's just doing tricks and trades, and you're doing all this other stuff. You ain't really supposed to be out there doing it, but some of y'all out here doing that thing.
So let me
do that. I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say you do that and you connect with people, and then you get these soul ties and these ties with people, and they're hard to break. And these people might not be for you, and then you get into other relationships and you have issues. So there you go.
So I'm gonna answer it as far as if you are already doing it anyway, because I know a lot of people are gonna be already engaging in this anyway. So the question says, is it good or bad? Now, okay, so you're already engaging in this. Is it good? I want you to think about that. The persons that have even considered this question. Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? Because if it helps the relationship, then do it. But if listen. The reason I'm answering it like this is because I know some people out there like, well, I know my relationship ain't godly, so I might as well just tune them out. But I want to get those people back in and tune back in. Because listen, I know sometimes when you do that, it brings adrenaline to the other person. You know, they might like that. They might be their turn on. Like, I have talked to people before where they don't like it to be quiet. So look, I'm just trying to be real.
But wait, so but faking it though, I ain't faking nothing. Well, there was those couple times, but listen, I just had to let that go real quick because I was just like, I can't no more. I'm just saying, don't charge it to the game. Don't be out here just, doing all that, and you ain't really doing it. So look, I did a little research on it, Doug.
Okay.
They say that 78% of the women fake it.
Oh wow.
53% of the men do though.
They do that. The 53% of men do this.
Fake it. Yes.
So it's a
and
lot of
this
people
is
out here doing it.
They out here doing that faking and that trickery.
See.
Out there doing that
But
trickery.
if we could really interview them and ask them why, what do you think that they would say the reason why they're doing it?
This is what they say. I did a little research on it, right? They said people are afraid to communicate. Now, we already talked about this before. They don't want to communicate. Y'all ain't talking. You got to be upfront. Like, no, that's not getting me off if you out here doing it. I don't like that because you got to remember this person is coming to you with what they previously know.
Right.
So you got to let them know, like, no, this isn't my thing. And we can even talk about just marriage. Since we want to, keep it biblical real quick. Let's just talk it as far as like married couples, people who are married.
Oh.
Okay, you're in a relationship and you're married, okay, and you faking it with your husband. Why wouldn't you tell your husband, or you faking it with your wife? You got to communicate. Tell him, because if y'all are newlyweds or something like that, maybe he was trying to please somebody else and he thinks that that's working with you and it's not.
Yeah.
So tell him, no, baby, no, I don't like that. Okay. Let her know, no, baby, that's not me. Okay, I ain't into that.
Now, over
Go
time, people's likes and dislikes change too now, though, right?
They do.
That is, I agree with you on that, the communication now, because what might have worked for those who are married and listening to this, what might have worked at the very beginning of y'all marriage, it's not going to work when you're 5-10 years let down the road. You're going to have to still be communicating.
Yeah, 50, 60 years. People be married for 30, 40, 50, 60 years.
Yeah.
Or more. So, they got to do a lot of stuff. You can't be out here not communicating. This is what they said too, right? For some reason, statistically, they say that women want to please men more. Like that women, they don't want to bruise the ego, because then the guy is like, oh my God, I'm not pleasing my woman. So they say it's more like women. That's why women fake it more.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't really want to tell the partner. And I'm sorry, go ahead.
And that's where the communication comes in. Like, you gotta let them know, baby, we gonna have to. Sometimes even men, you gotta be able to just take it. Understand that you're not always gonna be just the best. You can improve in areas. So.
Yeah, because I think some guys, it messes their ego up, and then they like, oh no, I can't do it. They do stuff like cheating and all that other stuff, because they want to compensate, because they feel insecure. But no, you just gotta understand, listen, you might not be able to do everything. Everything is for everybody. It just ain't. She might be into something that you ain't into. You might be into something she ain't into. But if you communicate, like we said, you won't feel inadequate, you won't have these issues, and you won't have no problems, and all of that. But I don't know about the whole guy thing, though.
Yeah, I don't know about that either.
Dub, have you ever faked the orgasm as a guy?
Nah, I haven't. That's why I was like, what? 53%? That's a lot.
But this is what they said. They said that because, males, they wear condoms so that they can go ahead and they can fake it real quick, like take it off, like, But I don't know about all that. That's a lot of... Y'all out here, y'all gotta call it. Y'all. Then again, I don't know if I want y'all to call in, because then y'all gonna try to have me do that whole Love Doctor series. And it ain't time for that. Okay, that's later on this year. But y'all out here really faking, because when we did the Love Doctor series, y'all was saying y'all wasn't having sex no more because sex wasn't good. So it must be a lot of stuff going on out here.
It's a lot of stuff going on out here.
Right. But I think it's because you're not communicating. If that's what you out here doing, and that's your thing, you out here doing that before marriage or whatever. And inside of a marriage, I think it's because you're not communicating too. Because if you're communicating, you don't gotta fake it. Why would you fake? Tell them you supposed to. If you out here doing that thing y'all do, you know what y'all be doing. You supposed to be telling them so that way you can get off and get what you got going on. This is just a touch of J, baby. I'm trying to put this out there in vision for you. Okay.
I feel you. So, are we able to go on to the next question?
Yeah, we are. So wait, is it good or bad? I think it's bad.
I think it's dependent on because if we communicating, right, and if the lady or the man says, you know what, I don't like it when you just sit there. You know what I'm saying? You know, okay. So check this out. There could be a situation where, you know, previous to up to that point, they had been having relations and the person, one of the two, have been just quiet throughout the whole situation. Like it could be a situation like that, you know. And so the person communicated to them, "Hey, why are you always quiet when we doing this? I thought that this was, you know, supposed to be exciting and happy, you know."
Oh, because that's their thing. You know, some people just don't express. Okay, I get you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is their one time to show their partner, I do enjoy this. And so the faking, it eventually can turn into genuine. But at first it might be, hey, this is what's helping. It could be good for them to do it, to increase the amount of emotion, like you said, that's being expressed.
Well, I got one thing to say before we go. This is what they say about people who fake it, y'all. Look, I told you I did a little research. They said the fakers, okay, are more into masturbation, oral sex, and anal play. I don't know why. I'm like,
that's a whole other podcast, girl.
That's a whole other podcast. But look, this is just a test today. I'm trying to put out there pieces for you. And
so let me look. We're gonna save that for another time. Let me. Can we move on to the fourth question, please? All right. So my question. It says, and this is from a 21-year-old. So think, you know, as a 21-year-old now. It says, would you do long distance? So I believe he's asking about, would you do long distance relationships?
Yeah. Yeah, you know who asked this question? My daughter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, shout out to you, right? I mean, she said she didn't care. Shout out to you. Well, you know, long distance. She's in a long distance type of thing. You know, my boo-boo. You know, her boyfriend lives in Jersey. And, you know, she said, put it out there for mom and pieces. So she want to know, you know, would you do the whole long distance relationship? And she does that. But how do y'all feel about it? I don't know. Me, I would. But we gonna have to really like be communicating and traveling and meeting each other and stuff like that. And it can't last for so long. You know.
So when you meet them, it's just for a hot second?
No, like we gotta spend time with each other.
Oh, okay. Just trying to make sure we got clarity for those listening.
Yeah, we gotta spend time with each other. I mean, I need to see you like at least a couple of weeks or something like that. Like when I go visit, like I'm not just coming straight back. I want to make sure I spend some time. You know, everybody can't do that.
Yeah, that's a good question too. Yeah. Because a person that's busy though, right? Can they even make the time?
Right.
And that's why they desire the long distance relationship, because I ain't gotta deal with you.
Some people do. Yeah, some people do, because I don't gotta deal with you. But they're just, you know, that one is here and one is there. Because like, what if you're in, like I said, you know, like the last podcast, you're in college or something like that, and you guys go away to school. One goes here and one goes there, but you still you love each other. Man. And you want to be with each other, you know, so you might be traveling, and when you got break time, you might spend time with each other. You know, that's what she does. They go, and you know she goes up there and he comes down.
That just reminded me of, you know, if that is the case, I'm pretty sure that the person, your daughter, would probably even ask this question: would it be okay to have friends, and even in a long distance relationship?
You know, that's another question we got coming later. Yeah, woo.
Because
Yeah.
you do desire to have human presence. People desire to have physical presence. Although you may not desire to be, hugged on, touched on, kissed on all the time, it is important that you have human presence in your life, some kind of physical presence in your life. And so even if it's like, okay, because nowadays we got technology, we have FaceTime.
Right.
Now some people don't like to do FaceTime unless they just all the way looking right. I just woke up, my makeup not on. But you gotta be okay with looking terrible sometimes if you're gonna do a long distance relationship. Am I right? What would you say?
You're right, because they always on FaceTime. I'm like, y'all on FaceTime. They go to sleep on FaceTime, they wake up on FaceTime. I'm like, God, I'm walking on it. She on FaceTime, he sleeps, she sleep. But that's what they do. They just make it work. I guess I don't know. This is just a test day, baby. I don't know how they do it, but I guess you just make it work. I guess you got to do what you got to do. I mean, I would do what I had to do if it was long distance like that, and I really love my book.
So she asked, would you do long distance? You said yes. If you ask me right now in my life, in my season, in my life, yes, I would do it as well.
Oh, Dub, you would take me long distance?
Of course.
Oh my God, it's a relationship. We're in a relationship now.
But if you think about it, this is actually becoming more common because there are people that live together and they're dating long distance.
Right.
And there's examples of people who are CEOs of companies, or they travel a lot with their job, or
like me.
They could be celebrities. Like they could be celebrities, and they hardly ever see each other because they're always on the road. They're always traveling, they're always doing this. So long distance, this is a good question by your daughter, because some people are long distance even living in the same house.
Right. You ain't lying. You're not lying, because look, I travel and I'm on the road. Thank God I don't have to do it as much this year, but I did 40 stays last year, something like that. Yeah. In 8 months, something like that. So, when you out here, you doing that thing, it could be like that. So it just depends if you want to do that or you don't. And I could do it. Yeah.
Okay, a quick question. This is a side question, but would you date somebody that's like professional athlete? That's probably a good question, because they are always traveling and on the road as well.
Of course.
And people are always waiting for the men, I should say, waiting at the hotel for these superstars.
Yeah, of course. I'm around that type of stuff anyway. Yeah, but yeah, I will do it because I understand it. You have to be able to understand it. Like when I did the questions and answers, and they said, they asked me what my favorite quote was, and I said, you can't talk about your goals and your ambitions and things like that with people who don't have the same mind as you, like-minded. Right. Just like you are, because it sounds like you're bragging. It kind of goes with that whole thing there. If you got the same mind frame and you understand, listen, I'm on tour, or I'm doing this, or I'm a professional here, and I'm on the road here, that's work. So you make your relationship work around it. It's no strain on it, because you understand, really. I guess, you know what I'm saying? You make it work. You do what you got to do. It's just what it is. It's business. It's not, you don't get offended by it.
You make it work. You got to adjust and be flexible and be adaptable.
Yeah, you jumping on and off planes. Look, I'm going to meet you here. Look, I got this amount of time. Look, boo. And that's that.
And eventually, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If it's in God's plan, it's in His plan.
That's right, and that's the way that it is.
So just a quick note for people out there, long distance relationship, and you kind of debating whether or not if you can continue on that thing, and just be adaptable, be flexible, because it might be that this could be your potential husband or your potential wife. You just have to be able to deal with her or him outside of seeing that person all the time.
Right, yeah. If you can get through that, you can get through a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Good.
Okay, right. So shout out to you, baby girl, for answering that question. You could have did what you did, son. And shout out to you, Angel, too, because I know you be listening. That's her boyfriend. He's an amazing guy. I love Angel. Okay, so moving right along. Here's this last question. This is the last question, right, Doug?
Because I got one more too.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, you got one more. Let me hurry up. We on here so you know how I get up. I be going on. So look, co-parenting, right? Oh gosh, yes. And I can actually relate with this one. This one I think was from my cousin. Co-parenting, right? New relationship comes up, okay? And now the ex-wife has an issue with him. Ain't never had no issue before. Okay, then he gets in a new relationship and he gets with somebody, and then all of a sudden it's hold on, wait a minute, I love you. Who's this new person? No, I don't want them around the kids, and no, I ain't bringing the kids over there at this time. You know, all that type of stuff.
Wow.
And he's kind of going through something. He's struggling because he's like, I don't know what to do. He like, does the wife still care? Is she just saying it just cause? Is she jealous? You know, does she just not want him to be happy? You know, because they are not together. How do you feel about that whole thing? Help him out.
Okay, so it's always gonna be a little bit of hard transition here, because it says right here that they're actually this is an ex-wife. This wasn't like
ex-wife.
It wasn't an ex-girlfriend. This wasn't an ex-side girl. This is an ex-wife.
Wait a minute, hold on. What the heck does got to do with the side girl? Ex is ex, though.
Nuh-uh, this is different. This is different on a whole nother level because it's an ex-wife.
Wow. Oh, because what, she took the ring and he proposed and they had a ceremony.
They actually.
Man, please. Go ahead, I'm listening. Go ahead, I'm listening.
I feel you on, because I understand exactly how you feel in this day and age, because our generation nowadays, you know, most marriages don't last, you know, through the first 5 years. So I agree with you. I agree with you on how you feel on that mindset. But just thinking about a relationship in general, then let's look at it from that perspective.
Right.
Whenever you have broken up, or you've broken up with somebody and you started something new, and y'all had kids previous in a previous relationship, that transition is never always great. But because if everybody is open to, like, hey, I know you're moving on, I know I'm moving on, or one person might not be moving on, and that's where the hardest part is one person is moving on with their life, but the other person is not moved on completely. Like, they're trying to get there, and that's where we have this issue where the question you said was co-parenting. Now his ex-wife has issues with him, and I can see that being the case. Completely moved on. And so if you communicate and say, hey, I know you and I didn't work out, and you know, I just want to let you know that, hey, I'm dating somebody now, and I do believe that this can be something long term. I want to see if it's okay, if you would be okay with just meeting her, you know, so you know who's going to be around your kids or our kids. See, that conversation right there usually never happens, because people are just, you know, I ain't trying to meet, you know, but if you have I think Jada Pinkett Smith is a good example of where she actually opened up the lines of communications,
right?
Dealing with Will Smith,
right? Yeah, so. I read on that, you know, but I've experienced that myself, you know. Now, it wasn't me, you know, it was somebody I was dating, and you know, when I came out there, you know, she wasn't trying to hear that. No, wait a minute, who is this? What's going on? I love you. It's all about me and you now. And I was like, you know, you gotta go ahead and fix that. What's going on? And he was just like, you know, this never happened before. You know, she didn't do that. So I could relate with my cousin. I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, I kind of want to do something like that. But he got it bad, you know, because look, all I can say is, I don't know what to say, really. I mean, Dub, what are you supposed to say about this one right here? I don't know.
I mean, there's always going to be issues. It's going to be hard to transition. That right there is the hardest part. Moving from one relationship to the next, and y'all had children together. If both individuals are okay with communicating, then this is okay. You can get through it. But if one person hasn't like moved on in their life as far as the thought of, man, you're not gonna be able to get back with him, or you're not gonna be able to get back with her. If you understand that, because some people can't get over that. Like there's a small little, probability chance in your heart and your mind that, man, one day we could probably work it all out. Maybe this separation time, because see, sometimes people think that separation will allow people to realize.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that little bit of time that you don't got me. But some people don't care. They want to move on.
Yep.
And they understand. They know that you just trying to get back with them just because they got somebody else. You don't really, because there was no attempt before. If you ain't trying to attempt to do nothing before, then all of a sudden the person got somebody, now all of a sudden you care.
Man, you know what? That happens a lot.
Right, all the time. It happened to me all the time. I'm like, where you come from? Hold on, you didn't even care like a minute ago. Now all of a sudden you care.
And you know what? That's where basically they were basically hoping that separation time either allowed that person to realize or know that this ain't gonna work. Realize that, hey, I need to go back and work it out with him or her. Or the separation time could be like, you know what, I'm actually great by myself, or I'm great moving on to the next person. So I just recommend for the person to ask this question, whether or not you see somebody dealing with this, or if this is firsthand, you just realize that the transition is never easy, but you have to be willing to sit down and talk with all three, or even if you have somebody you're dating, all four of you, because you might have somebody, and you're not just telling us in this question that you actually dating somebody too as the ex-wife.
Listen, communication. It's always communication. Y'all are not out here communicating. When we're talking about, like, this is almost the 6th question that we did 5 the other day. They were all about communicating.
Right.
Y'all out here doing this trickery, not communicating. Just talk. I can't stop doing the trickery. What is going on, Dub, with these people out here not wanting to communicate?
The fact that people are out here distracted. Like, it's too much to do out here. It's too much to see. It's too many. Okay. Oh, you know what? I take that. For the women, it might not be so much of an option, because from what I hear, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a shortage of good men out here. Would you agree?
Child, listen. Well, listen here. Look. I don't want to say it's a shortage of good men, because there's some good guys out there that really just go through some stuff because these women out here are messed up. Okay, and I always say shout out to my good man, shout out to y'all, because there's some good guys out there, and y'all been out here messing with these women who've been doing this trickery on you, and now you all confused and jacked up. So I won't want to say it's a shortage, but it is. It's a little rough out here. I would say that it's a lot of good women out here that are actually looking for just a guy like that, or like, we want to treat y'all right, but y'all out here, y'all afraid, and y'all not, y'all don't know. I guess I don't know, Dub. You a guy? What? What's going on?
I do believe it's a shortage of good men. There's not a shortage of males out there, but there are men. There is a difference between a male and a man.
What is it?
Because there's maturity in place. There's maturity where you know your purpose in life, and when things come your way, like a good woman, you know that that's a good woman, and you're gonna treat her as such.
Dub, you sound like you a real good man.
And that's a good thing. But also, don't let somebody's mouthpiece deceive you, women.
Woo! Child, Dub, wait a minute, hold on. That little trickery you just trying to throw out there. Move right along. Go to the next question. I don't know what we gonna say about that. Cousin, listen here, just work on it, because Dub is making me confused. He over there spitting the goodness. They talking about, wait, don't get confused about seriously.
Only reason I mention that is because I know that the mouthpiece can deceive some people out here.
Child, I had one of them, child. I know. They will talk a good game. Child, you'll be like, oh my God, thank you. Oh, thank you. Child, don't even know how to back it up.
All right, so this is the last question.
Go ahead.
This question, it came from, it doesn't say, it just says, sir. So I'm
Oh, his name is Sir
Okay.
Jenkins. Okay.
All right, so he says sacrifice in relationships. Name one thing you won't do. This is our last question.
Oh my gosh. Go ahead, Doug.
Sacrifice in relationships. Name one thing you won't do. Okay.
You go first. I can't go first with this one.
One thing that I will not do is, I think it's more what I won't tolerate. Can I answer it like this, or do I have to?
Listen here. Hold on. Let me put my feet up. Go ahead.
I don't know, because maybe he was coming. I want to make sure that I'm getting the right angle. So
yeah, that's basically what the angle he's talking about. What's the one
okay.
thing you won't do, like sacrifice, like
Oh, okay,
yeah.
good. All right, so one thing I won't tolerate is loyalty. Like a woman not being loyal, especially. I mean, not especially, but because I am a person that I am loyal.
Okay.
At one point in my life, I'm gonna be just honest with you.
Because these are confessions.
Exactly. I was not a loyal man. I was.
No, not you. No. No. This is too much. Please, too much. You give me too much. All right, go ahead. Just a touch, Dub. Just a touch. Go ahead.
Okay, so at one point I wasn't. At one point you would have caught me with at least 10, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, plus.
All of them?
Yes.
No, not you.
But
too.
there was a transition. I hit the Damascus Road in my life.
Okay.
I had a Damascus Road experience. And I decided that, hey, I'm older now. I mean, I ain't got time to be playing no games,
Right.
And so now there has to be a transition in mindset of you want to be loyal as a man because you expect that same thing from your woman.
Right.
And if you can't really even get to that point, then you probably, men that are listening, probably won't even agree with me on this. But one thing I won't tolerate is disloyalty. Now, those men that are already doing trickery, you can't expect a woman to be loyal. No matter how abusive you can be with your emotions, your verbs, your words and your actions, and you can be physical with your abusiveness. But that will not change the fact that you want that loyalty. Because if you're not loyal to yourself, then you can't expect that in return. So that's one thing that I will not be tolerate.
That's the same thing I was gonna say too, Doug.
Okay.
I can't do that whole unloyal type stuff. Like that's just like, child. It just opened up too many doors. It's like, what do you want?
Yeah.
Because you could be out there by yourself.
Yeah.
You could be out there being unloyal by yourself. You could be sowing your raw oats, doing what you do. You don't gotta be in a relationship if you don't know how to be loyal.
Right.
So, like, I can't tolerate that because, look, I'm enough.
Oh, just a touch too
is
touch is just enough.
Ooh, child, just a touch of J is enough. I give it to y'all all the time. Y'all already know I put it out there in pieces for you. I don't gotta do too much. You understand what I'm saying? Listen here. I love myself. I believe in myself, and God created an amazing person when He made me. And if you don't see that, and you got to do all that trickery type of stuff, I don't have time for that. Like and you know what it says too? This is what it says, okay? If me being in a relationship, if I'm not enough for someone, they don't feel like I'm enough, it really doesn't have a lot to do with me. It has to do with what they feel like they deserve.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, do they not think that they're enough to deserve somebody who is enough?
Wow.
Okay, what type of insecurities, what you got going on with you that you all jacked up where you don't feel like you are worthy of someone like me?
Oh, just give it just a touch. Just a touch.
That's it. I ain't gonna give it up for y'all. Just a touch, Jay. I'm just chopping out there peace for y'all. Y'all know how I do. And that's why I got Dub, because Dub rears me in. Dub gets me under control because I can go off and give y'all everything, child. Look. So, Dub, did we answer all of them?
Yeah, we answered the 6, and I know that some questions weren't answered, that were on the list. But hey, we'll figure out another time to get back on another podcast and answer the rest of those.
Yeah, because it's 6 more. And these is juicy, child. Dub, let me tell y'all something about Dub, y'all. Hold on, right? I gotta do your confessions. This is confessions, right? Dub, I'm mad at you. You know why I'm mad at you? Because you picked all the nice questions. Y'all, this is some questions over here. Dub was supposed to pick some questions that was a little, you know, he could pick something. He gonna pick all the nice questions. I said, how you gonna pick all the nice ones and leave me with all the crazy questions? Faking it and relationships. He gonna pick the nice ones. But y'all, listen, we got some good stuff coming, y'all. And thanks for tuning in. Dub, tell them about you again. Let them know.
Listening to the echoes of Dub 22 here on Anchor or any major podcast, and Instagram, your boy Dub 2, or you can find me on Facebook, Matthew Loftus, Loftis.
All right, so quick recap. Let me do mine real quick. Kinselin, you wanted to know the whole thing about what your with the whole thing with talking about the exes, and the guy is mentioning all the sex and finances and beauty about the person he used to be with. Is there something wrong with you? No, baby girl. No, he got some insecurities, I think, that he got going on. Me and Doug talked to you about it. Y'all need to communicate. All right, the whole faking it doing sex thing. Dub said it could be good. I said it's totally bad. I don't think it's good at all. I don't know about that whole thing there. And then what was the last one? Co-parenting with that whole relationship thing. Cousin, I don't really know. You know, I don't really know how to feel about that one, because I feel like, honestly, like she needs to move on with what she got going on.
Right.
You know, like, let you move on with your life. All of a sudden, don't try to come up with some feelings and stuff and emotions now. You ain't had no problem when I was single, cousin. She had no problem when you was like that. So tell her, don't try to come around here right now. You moved on. That's how I feel about that.
Yeah.
Dub, you?
My questions was, do you desire a godly relationship because it will honor God, or because you feel there is less risk of heartbreak? And so I just wanted to apply, you know, like I said, that person that even asked that question, because most people don't even think about getting in a relationship to honor God. You doing it to please yourself. So we all kind of we both agreed that, hey, you should get into a godly relationship because you want to honor God. Then the second one was, would you do a long distance relationship? We both said yes. You know, you just have to be willing to adjust and be flexible and adaptable to those relationships, because, of course, that person could eventually be your husband or your wife. You just have to be willing to deal with that the distance and the separation, so that when y'all do come together and y'all do unite, y'all have already dealt with the being away from each other for months and years and days and all that. You've already dealt with it. So yes, I would do long distance. And then the last question was sacrifice. Name one thing you won't do. We both agreed on this, that we will not tolerate disloyalty. Shouts out to that song, Loyalty, Loyalty, Loyalty.
Okay, Kendrick. Okay, and Rihanna. Yes, that's a big thing. Okay, y'all gotta hear that out here. All right, so look, that was Just a Touch of J, and we had Dub 22. Y'all check him out, and we just were trying to put that out there in pieces. These are our confessions.
Yes.
And y'all's questions, we just answering them. Okay. All right. So what do I tell y'all all the time? What I've been telling y'all lately? Who is this? Come on, y'all. What is this? This is just a touch of J, baby. And I'm just trying to put it out there like I did. Me and Dub did. In pieces for you, baby. All right? So till next time, right, Dub?
Right. See y'all next time.